Day 6. Look at this. Wow! Pretty crafty, right? This was creation. As you read through the book, you will find a point where you see us spiraling down. Now, obviously, I could not put every story in the book, so this is one I left out. This is what I want to share with you. This simple bit of creation came from a really dark place. I remember pulling out my sewing machine and floss and my crayons, and I had a friend who would make all of these neat things and make them into pillows, make them into blankets and wall hangings. I'd never done anything like this. I didn't know how, but I just globbed onto the information and how to get it started. The creation, while things are impacting you in a negative way, it's really interesting. It truly is an escape. And we had come through an awful night of a lot of drugs and harsh words and impactful blows. And I needed to escape. There was no gas for the car. There was no way to do anything. I put my 2 kids on the school bus, and I had 2 at home, and as they napped, I pulled out my machine, and I began. I started with illustrating a pattern, copying one, getting some ideas, and I pulled out the floss, and I took the machine, and I started to make what's called a log cabin pattern in sewing and in quilt making. And I started there because that's what I knew. And by the end of that school day, that's what I had finished. I was so proud of it, and I hung it up. And I hang it up every year because it helps to tell me that even in the depths of your darkest, hardest, most terrible nights, the morning rises and creation can still happen. Creation can be an escape. I'll never forget listening to many testimonies from Holocaust Jewish survivors. And one of the women, she talked about how she had to develop in her mind, and when she got out of the camp, that she would be able to attend this fancy, was like a winter holiday of some sort, where she was going to be wearing this beautiful, beautiful dress. And she had to decide which one. Would she bring the blue or would she bring the red? Even though she's working in slave labor, she had to think about something different. And she thought about that all day. Which one, why. She listed everything that would be beautiful about the blue, beautiful about the red dress. And she just continued to go on. And she stayed in that creativity. And it saved her for that day. Because in the evening, one of her friends was killed. She said, if I didn't have that way to escape in my mind, because I couldn't physically escape, I would have probably died. I connected with that story. Now, I never want to compare my story with what she suffered through. But understanding that when we are suffering, when we are hurting, when we are in the darkest place, creation can be a part that really supports our lives. That's the hope I want to share with you today. In the 10 for 10,000, stories like that will impact other people. And so if you can share this with 10 others, they will feel of that hope and that light and take that pinpoint and move forward in a way that maybe you didn't even realize they needed. We'll see ya.